So it's time for some updates on the Xbox Activision acquisition, as there's a lot of things going on in US with FTC and CMA in UK, so let's look into it. But before we look into it, let's check iniba.com. They offer games for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo and PC, and they are running this summer sale right now, so let's check some of these games over here. They've got Elden Ring for €30, so yeah, let's pick this one. And all you have to do now is just buy now or add more games to your cart. Please buy now and then proceed to checkout or add even more games to your cart. And all you have to do now is just select a payment of your choice and you are done. Remember guys, iniba.com, they've got a ton of great games and cheap games too. So iniba.com, link is in the description of this video below. Okay guys, so let's talk about that Xbox Activision deal. There's a lot of things going on both in US and UK. Most things are happening in US right now because after that yesterday's or 2 days ago, when did that happen? That decision was made by the federal judge that FTC will not get that preliminary injunction. So obviously that made FTC very angry about it, and it looks like they actually appealed, right? They did appeal. So this information is a courtesy of the Tom Warren of Verge, and he basically says that breaking, the FTC has filed an appeal against Judge Corley's decision to deny its preliminary injunction request over Microsoft's proposed Activision Blizzard acquisition. So I'm not really going to get too much into the detail. I mean, you will find the links in the description to these articles. You can actually read them yourself. I just wanted to let you know that FTC did appeal, even though a lot of people were actually doubting that they would. Yeah, it looks like FTC is not letting go. Now, there's another thing is that will they succeed? That's another story, which obviously another thing we don't really know. Looks like it's very unlikely. There's a lot of lawyers saying that that's basically what kind of new evidence can you actually provide in like 2 days to change court's decision, right? I mean, I don't know, like it's because they did have to act fast. Okay, so there's actually more on this story. And now he says, Tom Warren, Microsoft has responded to the FTC's decision to appeal, and they said, we are disappointed that the FTC is continuing to pursue what has become a demonstrably weak case, and we will oppose further efforts to delay the ability to move forward. So obviously Microsoft just wants to close this deal, right? There's okay, let's actually check if I think he did. There's some other like stuff over here. Yeah, I'll get back to in a minute. Tom also said that, as expected, things are moving very quickly with the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal. We will get to hear the FTC's rationale for appeal today and likely some form of response from the 9th Circuit tomorrow. I'm not sure what's that all about. Ahead of the restraining order expiring at 11:59 p.m. PT. Let's show more. If the FTC isn't granted emergency relief, then Microsoft is free to close the Activision Blizzard deal over the weekend or on Monday. Activision is being removed from the NASDAQ before market open on Monday, but we still need to hear if Microsoft and CMA have agreed a path forward for the UK side. So this is another thing which is happening because apparently, let's go back to Tom Warren's tweet over here. So he did also 5 hours ago, at least at the time of the recording of this video, he also reported that NASDAQ has announced that Activision Blizzard will be removed from the NASDAQ 100 index prior to market open on Monday, July 17th. Microsoft and Activision getting ready to close. So despite all that what's happening with FTC in US and CMA in UK, and I'll get back to CMA in UK in a minute, looks like Microsoft is actually getting ready to close this deal. There's been some reports that they may actually close on Monday. Other were speculating that maybe even earlier, Saturday, Sunday. Either way, they will probably want to close. They are planning to close this deal by Monday. So I'm not sure when that's it. It's 13th today. So yeah, Monday would be 17th, and that remember that agreement that they've got with Activision. The end date for that merger is 18th, so they will have to close either 17th or 18th, right? Looks like 17th. So Microsoft is not waiting for. Looks like they are not waiting for the FTC appeal and CMA appeal, which may seem a bit weird because I guess it makes sense to move forward in US because looks like FTC is not really going to get anything out of that appeal anyway, very unlikely. And so I think I've heard somewhere that I think they have to if they close within next to three or 4 days, the deal can go through, and then they can just fight FTC in court for decades, right? But that's not really going to stop the deal going through. Now it's more complicated with CMA in UK because obviously yes, they went back to the, I guess not really necessarily the drawing board, but to the table. They are actually talking right now. They are discussing some things, and obviously CMA did say that they did not agree to anything with Microsoft. They just, the case is that they stopped the appeal for now. I mean, they paused it, right? So it's on pause, and they went back and they are in talks with Microsoft on some, remedies, I guess. Now, the question is, will anything come out of this? Will they make some decisions? There's a lot of speculation on what's going on there, but CMA did say that the most likely scenario moving forward is to not necessarily allow this deal to go through per se, but to go back and kind of, I guess, go through the whole regulatory process again, which would take months, right? So Microsoft doesn't want that, right? I mean, it would benefit CMA, I guess. They would stall the deal. So the real question is, what the hell is going on there, right? Because why would Microsoft pause that appeal deal if CMA didn't promise them anything? And this is an interesting topic, and we've got Florian Müller. I mean, he's a great guy, by the way. He's been covering this merger and other mergers, I guess, too. But so this is what he says, right? There's no. Obviously, he was replying to somebody's tweet about, CMA negotiations and that kind of stuff, right? And he says, there's no reason to worry about the UK situation. Microsoft wouldn't have agreed with the CMA to stay the CAT tribunal appeal if there was any risk of delay. They wouldn't fall into a trap. All that's needed now is for the FTC emergency motion to be thrown out on Friday. So looks like they're just waiting for the FTC appeal to so basically the way I understand it is that if FTC don't get any, if they won't get that block, that preliminary injunction, so they would have to prove in next 2 days, they would have to prove to whatever judge who will be dealing with that appeal, if they don't prove that the judge Corley was wrong, and the thing is that they would have to prove that she was wrong on multiple kind of points, because there was multiple points that she said that there's no reason to block this deal. So if they don't do that, Microsoft will just close the deal. If they will be able to convince the judge, the appeal judge or appeal tribunal, I don't know, who's going to be dealing with that case. Then obviously Microsoft will then FTC would get that preliminary injunction and would block the deal. But that's very unlikely to happen. So it looks like if they don't get any, they call it emergency motion. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't really know how that works. So if they don't get that, then Microsoft will just close the deal. And actually, it makes sense. I mean, I'm talking about the CMA, right? Because Florian is actually suggesting that, like, there's no way in hell that Microsoft would stop the CAT tribunal, the competition appeal tribunal process, if they haven't received some sort of something from CMA that would allow them to actually continue to buy the Activision Blizzard King, right? So I don't know. Listen, it's beyond my level of understanding, right? Like, we're talking about laws, competition laws, lawyers, and that kind of stuff. Even some lawyers are getting confused because I've heard a lot of, but I guess not necessarily bad takes on the whole deal, but I guess people were not so forward thinking as Florian. And I know that, like, Florian seems to be this very energetic person that got invested in this case and stuff, right? And maybe he is. Maybe he wants this deal to go through, right? Maybe he's a fan of that merger. Who knows, right? But the fact of the matter is, like, it seems like he was right, and some lawyers, like in UK, were actually wrong about it, because this is a type of merger that has never ever happened before, right? And the amount of money Microsoft spent on dealing with that case, and the money they paid to all these lawyers and stuff, and it's just amazing. And I mean, amazing, it's like big money basically, right? It's just crazy. And looks like these guys know what they're doing. Yes, there were some hurdles, but looks like they are slowly but surely overcoming all these hurdles. And I think that I think that FTC trying to block is done, right? I mean, I think we can ignore FTC efforts right now. I don't think they will do Microsoft any harm now. But with CMA, this is going to be an interesting thing to watch, because we don't really know. And CMA did say that they are willing to talk and go back to the drawing board, I guess, and to reevaluate everything again. But that would take months, and Microsoft is not interested in it. I don't know. Maybe there's a way to actually allow this deal to go through for now, and then reevaluate everything. I don't know. But looks like it's actually Thursday, July 13th, and it looks like by Monday, July 17th, this deal is going to be done, closed. That's how it's looking like. But whether that will happen or not, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, things are very spicy. There's a lot of things going on right now. There's a report every hour. I won't be going through all the rumors and everything. It makes no sense. The most important thing is that FTC has filed the appeal. They've got time until Friday to actually block this deal. If they fail, then Microsoft will be able to close the deal, at least in the US. And they cannot actually, they still need CMA. So that it's interesting what's going to happen with CMA there. So yeah, but it looks like Microsoft is actually getting ready to close this deal and pay money. And there's been some reports on Microsoft shifting money and moving money around and stuff, right? Like big money, like 60-70 billion here and there. It's just crazy. I've never seen anything like that unfolding in real time, because with social media these days, it's like, something happens, click, 2 seconds later, it's all over the Twitter, Facebook, and everywhere, right? It's actually kind of interesting to see how that works now. But anyway, guys, so that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.